question. Why hasn't the world ended yet? Or why hasn't the resurrection come? Jesus said we were in the end times after he ascended into heaven and gave out the Great Commission. So, where's the end? Seeing as it's been 2,000 years, or a little over, since Jesus died and rose again on the cross, and then shortly thereafter rose back into heaven where he came from, humanity has hung on. It's come close to destroying itself multiple times, but not once has it come close to, on a worldwide level, peace and unity. So, let's ponder for a second. If, say, the world was able to unite under a singular cause, a singular banner, and bring about world peace, world unity, what do you think would happen when the person who leads them dies? Or, worse, when the person who leads them betrays them and turns a 180? Then the world would destroy itself. It's already united under a singular banner. All it would need would be a push to turn back to their more basic instincts of destruction, chaos, brutality. Just one push would be all the world would need to destroy itself so utterly and completely that not a single human would be left alive. Thinking statistically, all the world would need to do would be to send out only less than a quarter of the nukes that are currently operational and armed throughout the entire world, not counting the unarmed ones or the inoperable ones. Just a quarter of the ones that are in operating and functional order, and the entire world would be destroyed, and not a single human, plant, animal, or creature of any kind, be it in the land, the sea, or in the air, would survive. Earth would become desolate like Mars, a barren wasteland. So, thinking and keeping that in mind, why hasn't humanity ended yet? We have the means, we have the know-how. Why don't we do it? Hope. Hope that we can be better. But worse, and sadly more to the truth, division. If we are all as one earth, and not as one nation, not as one country, not as one state, but as one earth, not united under a singular banner, we cannot truly destroy ourselves. And on the flip side, we cannot truly obtain utopia, or heaven on earth, where everyone is equal, where there's no wars, no harm, no poverty, no one is above the other, no money, no greed, no malice, no envy of one another. A perfect utopia, egalitarian style, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you think would be the perfect way for the earth to be unified and not have any negativity left. If we were to achieve that, who would bring about the end of the world. If we were to bring about the end of the world before we obtain that, well then, that's what determines when the rapture will happen and why the Bible doesn't state it. The world's end is quite literally in the hands of us, humanity. Whether we choose to end it or keep going determines on whether we can ever unite under a singular banner, or if we stay divided until we decide to unite. Humanity is a stubborn species, by and far. And the fact that God divided us at the Tower of Babel, according to the Bible, made us all speak different languages and made it impossible for us to unite under a singular banner for the entire earth, where one will always try to outdo or outshine the other. One will always try to have more and make another have less, or vice versa. The corruption of mankind is the only thing that saves mankind from true and utter destruction. Think about it. It's not so far-fetched a concept. Going towards the Bible, where it speaks about the Antichrist, the world would be united against two prophets where fire will literally come out of their mouths. And that would be the uniting factor for the entire world to be united under a singular banner. And when they are finally killed, the world will achieve its sort of temporary utopia. But once the euphoria fades, so too will that peace. And then the fact that everyone will have tasted peace. They'll want more. They'll crave more. They'll need more. And when they can't get it because they cannot find a common enemy, a common foe, like those two prophets of the Bible, well, let's just say nukes will fly, the power gap will be forever. So, whether or not the world ends depends on us, humanity. Whether or not we achieve utopia depends on us, on humanity. Whether or not the rapture comes before or after the end of the world, once again, depends on humanity. The great war that will be waged at the end of times with God's army against Satan's army, yeah, that depends on humanity on when and where it will be waged. Well, perhaps not the where, but certainly the when. Odd concept, I'm sure. But consider it. Consider its possibility. Compare it to the facts and compare it to the Bible. Let me know if you find anything that contradicts. Any verses in the Bible that directly oppose that which I said. If you find anything, please post them in the comments. I kind of don't like thinking like this. Because, well, it's kind of dreary. I apologize to everyone who listens for this post. But I feel like it's important to share, all the same. Don't forget to leave a like if you thought this was interesting, or if you agree with me, or even if you disagree. Whatever. Just leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment with any verses you think contradict that which I said. I hope you guys all have a wonderful time, and I'll see you next week.